Donald Trump is panicking as Texas is turning blue. And if Texas is turning blue, Donald Trump is in for a catastrophe at the midterms where there may be a massive, historic blue tsunami. Now, over the weekend on Saturday, there was a special election runoff for the Texas State Senate District number 9, and the MAGA Republican candidate got wiped out by 14 points in a plus 17 Trump district where the MAGA Republicans put in $2.5 million more for the MAGA Republican candidate than the Democrats were able to put into that race. So when Donald Trump was asked about the wipeout by the MAGA Republican candidate in Texas State Senate District number 9, where the Democratic candidate overperformed and won that seat and flipped a seat that hadn't gone Democrat since 1991 to blue with a plus 31 overperformance, Donald Trump, like the coward that he is, said, I don't even know who was running in that race. I don't know the MAGA Republican state Senate candidate. I don't follow that stuff. Really, Donald? Because on election day, the day before, and other days, you said, I proudly endorse the MAGA Republican candidate for state Senate District number 9, Lee Wamgans. She has my strongest endorsement. I think your endorsement is toxic now, Donald. Here's what Trump said on Sunday when he was asked about the massive loss by the MAGA Republican candidate in Texas State Senate District 9, which is the Fort Worth area. Here, play this clip.
Mr. President, Texas, a Democrat won your special election in an area that you had won by 17 points. What is your reaction to that?
I don't know. I didn't hear about it. Somebody ran where?
In Texas, a special election for legislative
The 9th state Senate seat.
I'm not involved in that. That's a local Texas race.
Did you endorse the Republican?
You mean I won by 17
You did.
and this person lost?
And
Things like that happen.
does it worry you about the
Well, you
midterms?
don't know whether or not it's transferable. You know, I'm not on the ballot, so you don't know whether or not it's transferable. But, you know, you put the Democrats in, you'll end up with open borders again. You'll end up with crime all over the place. We have no crime anymore. And, I mean, think of it. The country has the lowest crime it's had in 125 years. In recorded history. The year 1900. That's a long time ago. So it's very good. No, I don't know anything about it. I didn't know. I mean, I know there's a race going there. And it's too bad. What can I say? I have nothing to do with it. Yeah.
And just so I can pull out the receipts right here, here's what Donald Trump said on Election Day on Saturday for that special election runoff in State Senate District 9. Trump said, today's the day to all voters in Texas's 9th State Senate District. Get out and vote for a phenomenal candidate. Donald, you called her phenomenal. Lee Wamgans. She's a highly successful entrepreneur, an incredible supporter of our movement to make America great again. My very good friend and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick needs a strong conservative Republican in State Senate District 9 to keep Texas red. The radical left Democrats are spending a fortune to beat a true MAGA warrior. You called her a true MAGA warrior. Lee Wamgans. You can win this election for Lee, who has my complete and total endorsement. Polls close at 7 p.m. Get out and vote for Lee Wamgans. Find your closest polling location here. Lee will never let Texas or the USA down. President DJT. And the day before that, you wrote, Lee Wamgans, a Republican running for the state Senate in the suburbs of Fort Worth, Texas, will be a great candidate and has my complete and total endorsement. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President DJT. Now, the Democratic candidate, Taylor Remitt, won by plus 14. As I said, that's a plus 31 overperformance in a district that MAGA Republicans put in over $2.5 million, outspending the Democratic candidate. And it was independents and Republicans who really made the difference in this race, voting for the Democratic candidate, a union worker and someone who focused on workers' rights and affordability, instead of the MAGA Republican candidate who focused on all of the culture war issues. Now, over the weekend, when Donald Trump was once again asked about his endorsements in Texas, this time for the United States Senate seat right there, where Democrats, by the way, have phenomenal phenomenal candidates, which I'll talk about in a moment. Donald Trump was then like, I'm not really sure who I'm going to endorse on the MAGA side. Not really sure. Here's what Donald Trump had to say. Play this clip.
Do you have any plans to endorse in that Senate race? Has your mind
Which
changed
Senate
at all?
race?
In Texas, the GOP primary.
I'm giving it very serious thought. You know, my problem is I'm friendly with all of them. Those are the hard ones. I like all of them. All three. But you'll be seeing soon. Okay? They say whoever I endorse wins. That's probably right.
Do you support?
Let's talk about the Democratic candidates right there. You have James Tallarico, who's filling stadiums and filling rooms across Texas. Like here he is in South Texas in a county that Donald Trump won. Watch the energy here for James Tallarico. Play this clip. And James Tallarico is giving powerful speeches like this, where he says, America is the immigrant. America is the protester. America is the huddled masses yearning to be free. Watch this right here.
No more secret police. No more disappearing people. This is the United States of America. We're not supposed to fear our government. Our government is supposed to fear us. The most common commandment in the Bible is welcome the stranger. Scripture says we welcome the stranger because we were once strangers. All of us have that immigrant story in our family history somewhere. All of us come from somewhere else. That's the beauty of America. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. America is not mass deportation. America is not masked government agents. America is not arresting journalists and executing people in the street. America is the immigrant. America is the protester. America is the huddled masses yearning to be free. Alex Preddy is America. Renee Good is America. Liam Ramos is America. These brave Americans have been stolen from us. At this moment of crisis, America needs patriots now more than ever.
You also have another incredible Democratic candidate in the primary. He's going to be running against the MAGA candidates. Any of these Democrats who get out and face the MAGA Republican candidate for the United States Senate are incredible. You have Jasmine Crockett, who's also filling stadiums, filling huge rooms across Texas. Watch what she had to say recently. Let's play this clip right here.
Well, I'm done with politics as usual. I'm done with going along to get along, and it gets us nowhere. I'm done watching rural hospitals and public schools close their doors. I'm done watching parents be afraid to send their kids to school or the mall or the movies because Republicans have flooded our streets with guns. I'm done with the senators sitting around doing nothing while Trump takes your hard-earned money, skims your Social Security, slashes Medicare, and gives tax breaks to billionaires. I'm done. I'm done watching the American dream on life support while Trump tries to pull the plug. The gloves have been off, and now I'm jumping into the ring. I'm asking for your support to be the next United States Senator from the greatest state of Texas.
And just so you see the Democratic candidate for State Senate District number 9, Taylor Remmett, here's what he said about the win, that it goes out to working people. And Democrats are proudly reaching out to the working people. Here, play this clip.
Everybody, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being involved and helping with this campaign. Tonight, this win goes to everyday working people. Let's go!
We will see you out there.
Let's go!
Speaking about reaching out to the working people and fighting for the people, you also had over the weekend finally confirmed that the Democratic candidate Christian Menefee will go on to win the congressional district there. This was a race where the Governor Abbott was refusing to fill the seat of a Democratic Congress member who passed away in order to try to deprive Democrats of getting a congressman to represent that district. Governor Abbott, the MAGA Republican governor, waited as long as possible. So now you have another Democrat right now joining the House of Representatives. And as Jake Sherman writes, House Republican leadership will now be in the same position they were during the last shutdown. A new Democrat won a special election and needs to get sworn in. Representative-elect Christian Menefee's election brings Johnson's majority to 218 to 214. That's a one-vote cushion for Johnson's House GOP. And can I just show you this clip right here of the new Democrat Congress member-elect Christian Menefee, who won that special election for the House of Representatives, which, by the way, he should have been elected months ago, but Governor Abbott delayed this process. Watch his powerful speech right here.
Somewhere in the 18th Congressional District, there's an immigrant who's terrified that masked ICE agents are going to kick in their door and take them back to a land that they haven't been for a very long time. And that's how you know that when I go into Congress, I'm going to fight each and every day to impeach Kristi Noem. To tear ICE up from the roots. And to fix this country's broken immigration system. President Trump, my message to you is this. You've gone nearly a year without hearing from the people of the 18th Congressional District of Texas. The results here tonight are a mandate for me to work as hard as I can to oppose your agenda, to fight back against where you're taking this country, and to investigate your crimes. And I look forward to doing so, if y'all know me.
Now, if you look at other districts in Texas right now, like especially after Trump and Governor Abbott's gerrymandering, where they thought they would pick up 5 seats and pick up 5 Republican seats, thinking that they were going to win the Hispanic vote. But now they're like net negative. Trump's like net negative 45 among the Hispanic community. And so as we look at the various congressional districts in play right now, you have Texas 15 is an R+6 district. Texas 23 is an R+5. Texas 28 is an R+8. Texas 34 is an R+7. You have Florida 26 is an R+3. Florida 27 is an R+2. Florida 28 is an R+10. In any of these congressional districts right here, you're talking about, with a +31 Democratic overperformance. In every one of those seats, Democrats have the ability to win. And that brings me to this important race in Anchorage, Alaska. Specifically in Alaska, they have one congressional district there. They have one congressional seat, an at-large district right now. And I want to bring in the Democratic candidate right now who's running for that seat. Well known in the community, Reverend Matt Schultz. Why am I highlighting Alaska? I think this seat is flippable right here. And I think what we saw happen in Texas, I think is going to happen in Alaska. And I think Reverend Matt Schultz is going to win. He's a longtime faith leader, husband and dad from Anchorage, running to bring a service-oriented approach to Congress. He's focused on making life affordable and protecting access to health care. Why don't we bring in Reverend Matt Schultz right now, who is running for that at-large seat. By the way, he's running against the guy by the name of Nick Begich. And Nick Begich won the race by 2.5 points in the 2024 election. So this is a race that Democrats, I think, absolutely can win. Let's bring in Reverend Matt Schultz. Reverend Schultz, the minister at the First Presbyterian Church of Anchorage. someone who's been known in the community for a very long period of time, but now you decided to step into politics, and part of a growing wave actually of faith leaders who I've actually been talking to are saying enough is enough from what we're seeing. We need to step into politics right now and fight for the people who we see suffering. Because, your role has you connected to people in a way that you see it every single day. So talk to us about, let's start off with what's happening in Alaska right now with the, with just as I think I described it, the pain being inflicted on the people. Then we'll get into you.
I think you framed it well. First of all, thanks for having me here. And you made a very good point, which is the people of Alaska are suffering because the people that we sent to office have betrayed the things that people cared about most. Now, of course, we'll hear a lot about affordability. Very, very true. People are suffering because they can't afford their groceries. We'll hear about healthcare. Very, very true. People are suffering because they can't afford healthcare. And in a lot of cases, the current administration's policies have caused clinics and other providers to shut down, meaning there could be entire towns and villages that have no place to go get care. They have to fly somewhere far, far away to get it. But the suffering runs deeper than that. There is a soul deep level of pain and suffering of looking at a government that isn't trying to serve them, but is trying to profit off of their own hardship. An example of that, the recent killings in Minnesota have shaken people's trusts in their government to the core. It's an intentional policy of intimidation. And to see nurses in my congregation deal with that pain has really been eye-opening. When I preached this past Sunday about the murders that ICE agents had perpetrated on people in Minnesota, I mentioned that my brother is a nurse and he would have done the exact same thing. And every nurse I know would have rushed to the aid of the woman who had been pushed down and suffered the same consequences. After the service, there's a nurse who's a member of our church, and she was in tears streaming down her face. And she said the same thing. We are all suffering. We are all crying out for help for this madness to end. And as a pastor, and the other pastors running would say the same thing. As a pastor, when my people ask for help, we say yes.
So talk about answering that call, because Begich, the MAGA Republican candidate who votes with Donald Trump basically 100% of the time, whatever Donald Trump wants, Begich says, you tell me, you want me to jump how high? He beat Peltoa by about 2.5 points. It was a close race, but he came in there and he sold everybody the bill of goods. Everything's going to be more affordable. Everything's going to be better. Bigger, better. It's going to be greater. That didn't happen right there. So it's a critical race to win for the change power in the House of Representatives to bring accountability. But talk to us about why you think this is a winnable race.
Because the people of Alaska vote for someone they can trust. And Nick Begich has made it very, very clear that he's not that person. He was sent there to do certain things. Perhaps some people voted for him to try to shrink the amount of spending being done by the government. He's ballooned that. Maybe some said, let's limit the power of the executive branch. Well, goodness gracious, that's gotten a whole lot worse. They probably sent him there hoping that things would be more affordable and that healthcare would get better. That has all been betrayed. Alaska is really one big neighborhood, and we know each other, and any relationship in a neighborhood is based on trust. He's betrayed that trust, and I've built it over my 30 years in ministry.
Talk to us about, your closing message to the people right before this. I mean, if there's any, at a national level, at a local level, what's your kind of final message to everybody about why in this moment, why right now is it so important? And where can people find out more about your campaign?
They can find out more about me at mattschultzforalaska.com. I would really love for you to come take a look. And I'm pretty easily Googleable. There's a lot of video of me over the last 30 years standing for what I know is right. And that's why this election is so important, because the nation recognizes that the current administration is behaving outside of the boundaries, not only of the law and the Constitution, but far, far outside of the boundaries of ethics. We hear over and over again, make America great again. They haven't even tried to make America good. And we're out there destroying our friendships and relationships internationally, destroying all of these alliances we've had with other nations for generations, and just trashing them for the purpose of enriching the people in charge. The people of Alaska and the people of America are ready for a government that does what is ethically right, that takes care of our neighbors, that lifts everybody up, and that stops this horrible process of stealing from the poor to give to the billionaires. In my opinion, the whole country is crying out for people we can trust to do what is simply good and decent and kind. Congress needs a conscience, and I think I'm the one to bring it.
Where do people go to find out more again?
MattSchultzForAlaska.com.
Check that out.
Or come up to Alaska to visit us. You will never want to leave. It's the most beautiful place on earth.
Well, but what you said there really resonated with me. So I just want to hit on it before we go to, though, because this is what I talk about on the show over and over again. I said, a lot of the stuff I'm talking about is not even political anymore. Like, this isn't a Democrat, Republican, independent thing. You know, it's just like, as you said, where is our conscience and where is our empathy? And what are we as a nation? You know, when you see, you know, Donald Trump and people who support him out there doing 1:30 a.m. messages calling Alex Pretty an insurrectionist and saying that, you know, it's like, what are you doing? Don't you realize, first off, you're defaming him after he got murdered by your Border Patrol Gestapo, but his parents are grieving. Like, what are you doing here?
And when basic decency, right?
Basic humanity stuff, right? Like good versus evil. Like, to me, it's that simple right now.
Yeah. I think it's an important thing to remember. It's not a question of right versus left. This is a question of right versus wrong. And everybody just has this conscience inside that tells you there's something wrong with what we're doing here. And Donald Trump has been able to drown that conscience out for a while just based on his noisiness, right? But that is eroding so very quickly. His numbers are crashing because one by one, in millions across the country, people are remembering, holy smokes, these are not the values I was raised on. I am supposed to take care of other people. And this is a wave of conscience sweeping the country.
Reverend Matt Schultz, thanks so much for joining us. We hope you come back on. We'd love to have you back on. And I'm going to share with people also some of the sermons and some of your other speeches and public appearances.
I'm grateful. Thank you for that. Thanks for having me on today.
Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. And thanks for watching. Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.